Hi everybody, this is a random video that I am making. This is actually a creative note-taking video that I have thought up very well. And we are going to begin with the simple tenses of the verb. I don't know, it's probably because of how simple it is. So here I am just doing the title, basic calligraphy. It's not really that big of a deal. I am using my vitamin pen to add more highlight to the title of the creative note. So now I will begin by defining what simple tenses are. And I don't think I need to elaborate much on its definition since everybody knows what simple tenses are. So to me, it's the easiest tense at the same time. From the word itself, it is very simple. So here is my definition of it from way back when, and I've always and often defined it like this with my students. So basically, it means that simple tenses of the verb indicates the verb in its simplest form with respect to the past, the present, and of course, the future. So all tenses are depending on the time indication that it is being done. So here I am writing down the simple past tense because to me it's very important to start in the past because if we're going to follow the timeline, the simple past tense is always written on the left, so therefore we need to start with it. So there is no other way besides that. But sometimes people start studying about the simple present tense first, but to me it's easier to understand the past first before the present. So my definition is basically that the action was done or occurred in the past. And here is an example or a sample sentence. So you can see there that I wrote the verb in the past tense, which is ate, and then the time indicator there is yesterday. So of course yesterday occurred in the past. Here I am now writing how you are going to form the simple past tense. Forgive me, I had to stop the paper from flying. But anyway, there are two ways on how you are going to write this in its verb form. So the first one is for the regular verb, wherein you're just going to add D or ED to the verb itself. And then for irregular verbs, there are times that you have to completely change the word itself in order to use that particular verb in this tense. So I highlighted it there so that it will be clearer for everybody to see. You can actually zoom in on the video if you want to clear it out. Oh, and my mom passed by. Anyway, so these are just sample words or verbs in its irregular form. So when you write the verb write in its irregular form or in its past form, you are going to write there wrote, and then eat becomes ate, ride becomes rode, and then see becomes saw. Now we are going to be talking about the simple present tense. Personally, this is not really that simple to discuss because the simple present tense is not really that simple because there are 4 indicators when you can use the simple present tense. But basically, if you're going to define it, it's the action that is being done or that is occurring in the present. And then here I wrote that there are 4 other indicators when you are going to use the present tense. The first one being that it states a general truth or a fact. Another one is when you are stating the present condition of something. So it's the most commonly used way of the simple present tense. The third one is a habitual action. So something that you do all of the time or every day, just like, taking a bath, brushing your teeth, you're celebrating a birthday. So it's habitual. And then the last one, if you can see, I paused there for a minute because I completely forgot what it is, but it's actually scheduled future action. So if there is a schedule or if there is an indicated time, but the action is still going to happen in the future, you can actually use the simple present tense for that. So on to the next page here. So these are sample sentences. I'm just not sure if it's quite clear to be seen on the video. I hope it is. So here I am just writing sample sentences for each of the uses of the simple present tense. So my first one there is, the capital city of Oman is Muscat. So I use is, so it's in the simple present tense. A present condition. My sentence is, I live in Tunasan, Muntinlupa, because that's my present condition. So live there is my verb. The third one, a habitual action. I brush my teeth every morning. Yes, who doesn't, right? Then the last one is a scheduled future action. It took me a long time to think of a sentence for this one, actually. So the concert is on March of this year. So I'm not really sure if I used the preposition there correctly. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm only human, so the point is for you to see a sample sentence, right? So how are we going to write the simple present tense? So basically, you have to think if the subject of the sentence is singular or plural. So it depends, of course, in the subject if or in what we're going to use for the simple present tense. I hope that's clear. So here there is already a change of color for the marker or the highlighter that I'm using because we are down to the last part of this creative note, because we are going to be defining this time the simple future tense. So it's the easiest one in my opinion. It's all actions that are happening that are in its simplest form will use the simple future tense. That's why I defined it like that there. So my sample sentence again is very simple. So I just added their will plus the base form of that verb. And then the last thing that I wrote there is how you are going to form it. So basically it's will or shall plus the base form of the verb. So anything that you can think of, like will dance, will sing, will write, will create. So there, that's my creative note for my simple tenses. So thank you for watching.